tricky, but to do that, you're gonna cut
You have to flip out.
from
You want to sew the right sides together so that the seam can be on the inside and not on the outside of your clothes. Hey loves, welcome back to my channel. If this is your first time here, my name is Siobhan, and today we will be doing a DIY Wilma Flintstone costume, and of course a little chit chat in between. So if you're interested, or even if you're just interested in seeing the outcome of the costume, keep watching. All right, y'all. So first I'm gonna show y'all everything I have, all of the supplies I have to make the costume. I'm gonna just get this off the way first. And to make this costume, you don't need a sewing machine. You can sew by hand because it's really not a lot of sewing, but if you have a sewing machine, it'll be faster and easier. So I have, this is a little sewing board that I got from Joann's, or I think I got this from Joann's, but Walmart have the ones that are a little smaller than this, because you really don't need this big one. This is just one I had already from other sewing projects. But they're about $6 at Walmart. And I have a pair of scissors. This is just some wipes for me to wipe my hands off because I'm working with white material, white shirts. A few safety pins because I'm gonna use this just to kind of like jazz it up a little bit. And I'll show you that in a few. I have these t-shirts, and these are just plain t-shirts I got from Walmart for like $4 or $5. This one is a 2X because they didn't have 2 in an extra large, which I would have preferred extra large, but it's fine because I'm gonna cut it up anyway. And this was another t-shirt, which was the extra large, but I had already started cutting it. And this is a shirt that is a smaller size, which is, I believe, an adult medium. I had this shirt already a long time ago, just never used it, came in handy. So like I said, I started cutting this shirt already because I wasn't gonna do a video, but I decided to do it. That's another thing, y'all. We are like our own setback. Like, we set ourselves back. We talk ourselves out of things. We are our own downfalls sometimes. I kept telling myself, oh, I'm not gonna make the video. Nobody gonna want to hear about no costume. Nobody want to watch no costume. But if people may want to watch me make a costume. They have other people that are interested in DIY projects and crafty things, just like myself. So it's kind of like we gotta stop telling ourselves these things. We have to stop talking bad to ourselves. And sometimes we do it and don't even realize it. Like I would talk myself out of anything, and I would be telling myself these horrible things and not even notice it until I think about it, and I'm like, why am I telling myself this? Why am I telling myself, oh, this video won't be good enough, this not good enough, and y'all know all of that good stuff. So anyway, this is the extra large t-shirt that I already cut. So I'm gonna just I turn both of them inside out. I won't use the smaller one until I'm ready to make the top of the costume. So for the bottom, and I have 2 shirts because I want to double it because this is white material and I don't want it to be see-through, y'all. I don't need all my goodies showing and all that, so y'all know. But I'm using this board so the cuts can be even, and I can line it up where it needs to be lined up so everything can be as even as possible. And it don't have to be perfect because y'all know the Flintstones, like, they wear pretty much rags. But I want it to look good, so I'm gonna line this up as even as I can. And what I did to the first t-shirt was I just cut y'all know the base, like the rim, the seam, the rim off the t-shirt. I cut that off. So I'm gonna do that same thing to this other t-shirt I have. And like I said, it don't have to be even, but I'm gonna try to get it as even as possible so it could look good. Y'all know what I'm saying. All right. I'm gonna go ahead on and do that. And I'm gonna cut the rim off of the t-shirt that I didn't cut yet, of course. All right, so I'll do that. And it don't have to be a perfect line. And you might want to use some scissors that's sharp enough to cut through, so you won't have to keep cutting and things look really, really uneven and kind of jagged at the ends. Like I said, it really don't matter, but it just makes it easier to cut and easier, less work for you to do. So we don't need this. All right. So now I am going to line the shirts up, like I said, as even as possible. I'm going to take the t-shirt that I already cut, line it even with the seam of the new shirt. And I already measured like the length of, because this is going to be the skirt. It's a two-piece. I already measured like the length that I prefer it at. And I also have to make an additional cut. So I left a little bit extra material on just for any error. All right. So we cutting the seams off of both of these shirts. So the ends are going to be open. So after I make this cut, these shirts, like I said, one was an extra large and one was a 2X. But after I make this cut, they will be the same size. So it really don't matter too much. If you can find two shirts that are the exact same size, that'll just make it a little easier. All right, so now that I cut the seams off the shirt, I'm gonna cut the top, which is cutting this. One of the shirts are already cut, but this other shirt, I'm gonna cut it even with this one. We won't be using the top off of the shirt. It'll just be trash pretty much. All right, so I'm gonna put that to the side. Now, we're gonna take, we got two because we're doubling the skirt. I'm gonna take one and open it all the way up. Lay it flat. So we want so when you're sewing this together, you wanna put the wrong sides together. So the insides of the shirt, let me just take this tag off, will be together. And you wanna line them up at the seams. Remember, we kept one seam. Just line it up. Just like that. Like I said, it don't have to be even. And I'm gonna sew this together. I have a serger, so the serger will take off any excess material and it'll be pretty even once it's done. And if you don't have a sewing machine or a serger, like I said, you can just hand sew this, and you can also use material adhesive, where you just pretty much gluing the material together. And they sell it at Walmart, Joann's, and anywhere that you can buy crafts or sewing material from. So we're gonna try to get that as even as possible. Make sure the seams are even. It's kind of hard working with this t-shirt material just because once you cut it, the edges start to roll up. So keep that in mind. All right, so I'm gonna take this to the back. I might take y'all with me. And sew this together just in a straight line. All right, y'all, so we made it back here in the sewing room. Don't judge me, it's a mess in here. Actually, this is a sewing room, a lawn equipment room, a pool house, a storage shed. This is an everything room. But anyway, y'all, all right, so, and I told y'all the wrong thing. I meant to say that when you're sewing this together, you want to put right sides together, because anytime you're sewing something that you have to flip out, you want to sew the right sides together so that the seam can be on the inside and not on the outside of your clothes. So I'm gonna take this and I'm gonna just pin it together right in the middle at the seams, because y'all know we only have one seam because we cut the other one off. We cut the other edge of the shirt off. So like I told y'all, we just sewing this together in a straight line, nothing too much. So I'm going to get these two edges together. And like I said, this t-shirt material is, sometimes it could be a headache to work with, because the you see how this is rolling up? It starts to roll up just like a t-shirt would if you cut the edges off. All right, so I'm gonna just put this on a serger, lift this up, pop that on in, snap that down, and you will start sewing. And actually, I'm gonna remove this pin because I don't want my machine needle to sew over the pin and possibly break the needle. I don't need that type of trouble. And using a serger makes things much easier because you have that like professional finish. You don't have to cut nothing. You don't have to worry about like threads popping out. Y'all hear that weird noise? That's this computer right here that's been on for like 3 years straight. So I started from the middle where I had the pin at, where I pinned the seams together just to keep everything pretty even. Sorry for shaking it. This table is not the sturdiest. All right, so we're gonna cut that off. And so since we started at the seam, we still have to sew the other side of the seam. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead on and finish this off camera. All right, y'all, so now that we have sewn both parts of the skirts together, this is the seam on inside. You remember I told y'all that you put the right sides together, so once you flip that out, you get this, and that will now be the top of the skirt. So this is the top of the skirt. And you might want to just iron the seam where you made the seam at so it can stay in place, but we ain't trying to do all that because this is a Halloween costume that will probably be worn once and discarded after that. So we just want to pop up that seam out, and this is the top of your skirt. So this is how, this will be the side. This is how the skirt will go. So we have a bunch of extra material left on the side, and I'm gonna show y'all how we're gonna get rid of that. And pretty much what you do is you just measure it to see how big or how small you need your skirt, how much you want to cut off. And for me, I'm not gonna cut off a whole lot because I still have something else I want to do with and play with, so I'm not sure. So we'll leave a little bit to play with. So what I'm gonna do is just make a little slit here with the scissors, and also here, and then I'll open it back up. Let's find those little cuts, and it is here. So now, like I said, those cuts don't have to be even. I have a serger, so the serger will cut the excess off and even it out for me. So I'm not too concerned about that. And also, if you don't, like I said, if you don't have a serger, you just use this little board and pretty much cut on this line. You can see the line through the material, so you can just, if you just stay straight. And then I will go to the other side where I made the hole, the cut, and I will cut that off. All right, so now what we need to do is, and that's like, if you take it from one side, the seam won't be even. So that's if you want to have two equal side seams, you want to take equal amounts from each side. All right, so now what we're gonna do is to make that second seam, to close the skirt up pretty much, we're gonna close this together. So now we are here. And now we will sew this side together, just like we did that first side. So now this will become your seam of the other side of your skirt. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take a pin, and like I did the first time, pin the seams together. Because if the seams are even, everything will stay pretty even on the machine. Because like I said, this material tends to slide and roll up and all that kind of stuff. So we're gonna put that pin there, and then I will go back to the sewing machine, sew this side together, and I will be right back. So I went ahead and sewed that together, and now this is what we have. Two seams, like it almost look like a two dress type deal. All right, so now we are going to flip this inside out until we get to the seam, which is the top of the skirt, and we have two side seams and one upper seam, which is, like I said, the top of the skirt. And I have the iron right here. I'm gonna just iron this seam out at the top, just so it can be a little easier to work with. But yeah, y'all, like I was saying, we are our biggest downfall sometimes. Sometimes we hold ourselves back. Like I said, I wasn't gonna post this. Actually, I wasn't even gonna start a YouTube channel. Y'all don't need to know how old I am. Y'all need to be all up in my business. But at 30 something years old, yes, I decided, you know what? I want to start a YouTube. I want to do YouTube. I want to showcase all of the things that I'm into, the crafty things that I can do, that I do. And in the beginning, early on, I've been had this idea of starting a YouTube. I kept telling myself all kinds of stuff. This is not for you. You're too old to do this. You should have been thought about this. You waste time doing other things. What if it don't work out? What if people don't watch it? Oh, I don't like the way I sound on video. I don't like the way I look on camera sometimes. I told myself all that. Every last thing. It took me forever to upload my first YouTube video because of all of the things that I told myself. And I was confused about it, and I just prayed about it and asked God if this is for me, is this something that I should do, because I know that this is something I want to do. Show me a sign. Let me know something. Because I was really confused. And some things have happened in my life that's probably, I mean, I don't know, not the best, or it could be the best, I'm not sure yet, that allowed me to be able to start this YouTube, and that kind of gave me, I guess, the confirmation that I was asking for, that this is something that I need to do. I need to do something different. I need to try something different. And here I am. Here is this video, and I'm still not sure if this will get posted, but if you are watching, of course it was posted. But yeah, y'all have to just go for it. Just do whatever that thing is you want to do, and you have to stop worrying about. And that's another thing I thought about, what people might say, what people might think, what my family might think. Oh, you want to do YouTube? Yes, I do, and that's what I'm going to do. That's what I'm doing. So, and sometimes you just have to do stuff not because of other people. Not because of likes, not for money, just because you want to do it. Like, even if it's just a hobby, if it's something that you want to do it. Because at the end of the day, the time gonna pass anyway. And you sitting there saying, oh, I'm too old. In 2 more years, you're gonna be 2 years older. And then you'll really be thinking, oh man, I should have started 2 years ago. Just do it. Just do it. All right, so the seam is pretty good. It's fine, it's fine. All right, so this is what we have now, which is like a skirt double. I have these leggings on, but it's fine. I'm gonna try it on over the leggings. And so this is, I hope y'all can see, can y'all see this? Ooh, child, a little tighter than I expected, but okay. All right, so this is what we have. And the top will be a little bit loose, just because, of course, your hips, most women anyway, your hips are way much wider than your waist is, and my waist is way smaller than my hips. So this is where the safety pins will come into play. So this is kind of where you will tailor the skirt to fit you. So if y'all can see that, I kind of like pinched it in. And this is where I will put the safety pins to kind of like tailor it to my shape. Ooh, iron kind of hot. Okay. Watch this, watch it. All right, and these safety pins came from, I believe, Amazon, but you can get them from Walmart, Walgreens, wherever. Just some regular cheapo safety pins. All right, so you want to take that middle seam and make sure, that side seam, I'm sorry, make sure it is exactly in the middle. And you want to take that safety pin and you want to leave a little space in between so the safety pin can show and have room. And I believe this is the medium size. The pack I have is an assorted pack. So this is the medium size. Come on now. All right. Giving me a hard time. All right, so you just want to put that through each side. Y'all, I'm having a hard time. And you're gonna just pin that together. And this is the look you get from that. And I'm gonna add a few more, maybe 2 more. All right, y'all, I'm back. All right, y'all, I'm back. Those pins stress me out. But anywho, this is how you want it. You want it to kind of like cinch it in enough to fit around your waist. And once I put it on, once I actually wear it on Halloween, I will tailor it a little bit more because I have leggings on. So this is how you want it to look. You can take it all the way down as far as you want to, but this was fine for me. So I'm gonna take this skirt off, and actually I made it kind of loose so I can leave the pins on and take it off, and it's fine. So I am going to take those off, take this off, and then my next step is to, I'm gonna cut it into, I guess you call it like a little zigzag triangle type deal. And to do that, you really don't have to measure it. You can eyeball it, but I guess I kind of wanted to come out as neat as possible. So what I'm gonna do is, I have this board here. So each like block or cube is 1 inch. So I'm gonna make my cuts 3 inches long. And to do that, you wanna cut up and then down, up and then down. And actually with these scissors, I'm making prints, like I can see the imprints of it. So once I start cutting, I'll just go based off of these little imprints here. That. Yo, I'm so excited. I love Halloween. Halloween is one of my favorite holidays. I think I'd probably be more excited than a kid's child. And every Halloween, we usually do at least 2 costumes. Sometimes I do 3, depending on where, this needs to go this way. Depending on where I'm going and how many Halloween events I'm going to. But we usually do 1 family costume where I have a 10-year-old daughter, for those of you who don't know. We all dress up as a family. So we do the family costume, and then of course I do my adult type thing. If I'm going to, usually I go to this Halloween party and it's at a club every year. So if I go to that, then I wear my adult, sexy type situation costume. And if I go somewhere else to another Halloween party or event, I try to have another costume for that, depending on how the vibe is. That's the type of costume I try to go with, but I really don't like store-bought costumes. I absolutely hate Party City costumes with passion, but I mean, that's your thing, that's your thing. Like I said, I would call myself pretty creative. I like to, create things, make things. I like to dress up and all that type of stuff. So I would prefer to make my costume. And even if I don't make it by hand, I would put it together myself, like get the pieces from different places and kind of come up with something on my own. I may or may not do a video of my other costume that I'm wearing, because that one, I didn't make it, but like I said, I pretty much pieced it together and went and got the pieces from different places. So I may or may not post that, but yeah, I love Halloween. Like, I like to dress up, and y'all can be, for Halloween, listen, you can be whatever you want to be. Whatever you want to be. If it's one thing that you've been wanting to be, and you've been wanting to wear, and you was kind of scared to wear it, you know, scared of what people was going to think, what you shouldn't care about. Halloween, be it. Do it. Dress up. Have fun with it. I just really like Halloween. I feel like it's a really fun holiday to be creative, you know, have fun, and just be whatever you want to be. Be whatever you want to be. Okay, so I'm gonna start making these cuts, and I'm going over it again because I'm running my mouth, of course, and kind of losing my imprints because they don't stay that long. So just try to call them out again and let that be that. All right. So we're gonna start cutting. I like to start from the corner, the side. And these scissors aren't the sharpest scissors because my daughter runs through scissors like crazy. You can buy 3 pairs of scissors a month, and by the time she's done with them, they ain't cutting nothing. They ain't cutting. So, but like I said, it's okay because this is more of a, like if you think about the Flintstones, they are wearing pretty much rags. So it's kind of like the raggedy look. But I want mine to be, you know, a little neater, of course. So sometimes these things get uneven, but it's fine. All right, so I'm gonna keep cutting. Pretty much cutting out triangles. And like I said, you can draw it for a better cut, more precise cut, but this costume's already called for the neatest of the neatest. All right, so then we're gonna go to this corner to make sure it's even with the other. And you can do a single shirt, but like I said, I didn't want it to be too thin and see-through. You know, I want to protect the goodies a little bit. Might be doing a little moving, a little dancing on Halloween. I don't need nothing popping out, or you know, everybody all up in my business. So we're gonna go ahead on and double up. All right, now this is where it gets a little tricky. So this is what you are left with. So I'm going to go ahead on and put this to the side because we are pretty much done with this. And if you want, depending on kind of look you can go for, if you want to go for it, this wasn't something that I was wearing with my family, I would probably put a split on the side, a very high split on the side. But we ain't trying to do all that. So we're gonna leave it as is. All right, next thing, we're gonna work on the top. And I'm gonna just iron this a little bit because it's wrinkled. And I don't wanna be cutting the shirt while it's so wrinkled. And the next thing we're gonna do with this shirt is, child, this ironing nothing. The next thing we're gonna do with this shirt is, I'm gonna go ahead on and try it on off camera. You wanna try this shirt on, and then you want to measure the length and how long you want it. Now remember to make it, cut it a little bit longer because we have to make these little triangle cuts at the bottom so it can match the bottom of the skirt. So I'm gonna go ahead on, and also you wanna get a smaller shirt just because it'll, especially if you don't have a serger, to eliminate any extra sewing, trying to take it up and get it, you know, to fit. So this, like I said, this is a smaller shirt. It's still kind of big, but this is a smaller shirt. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna measure the length, and also this is going to be a one shoulder top. So I'm gonna measure the length and I'm gonna cut the top off of the shirt, and I will be back. All right, y'all, so I measured the length of the shirt and I made a little cut just like I did with the skirt. And the cut is, okay, the cut is right here. So I'm gonna lay it on the board, try to even it out a little bit. Actually, I'm gonna turn it this way. Like I said, even it out a little bit. And then the first thing I will do is I'm gonna start making my cut. So I'm cutting in a straight line, straight across. Once again, don't have to be perfect. Actually, that's the whole look of the costume. Kind of like a raggedy look. All right, so that is done. Put that to the side. And the next thing is you want to cut the sleeves off of the shirt. And when I'm cutting sleeves or anything like the collar of the shirt, I like to turn it inside out. And what I'm gonna do is to cut both sides kind of even. I'm going to put the seams of the sleeves together. Y'all see that? All right. Lay it flat down. And now we are going to cut the sleeves off. And by the way, if y'all would like to see my other costumes that I'm doing this year, just let me know in the comments and we can probably pop a video up real quick. And I'm also thinking of vlogging, doing a vlog for Halloween weekend of just our different costumes and the events I'll be attending, and just, you know, me out having fun and enjoying Halloween weekend, because I am very, very excited about it. All right, so we're gonna go ahead on and cut these sleeves off. We don't need these sleeves. All right, sleeves are off. And now, so you remember I said that we wanted to measure, so I also measured how far I'll need to cut this top, because like I said, it'll be a one shoulder shirt. So this can get kind of tricky. It really can. All right, y'all, so I went and cut the sleeves off the shirt, and I also cut the shirt where the marking was, where I thought the length would be good enough for me. So now, like I said, this is going to be a one shoulder, cold shoulder shirt. So to do that, this gets a little tricky, but to do that, you're going to cut from one side of the top of the sleeve on a kind of like a slant to the other side. And like I said, this shirt is kind of big, so I'm gonna have to take the sides up anyway. So I'm gonna go ahead on and do that. And also I will make the little triangle cuts like I did in the skirt. And to do that, I will do it the same way I did the skirt. So I'm gonna go ahead on and do that in a time lapse just to speed up the video a little bit. All right, y'all. So I made the little triangle cuts. I also cut the sleeves off and made the little cold shoulder, one shoulder cut. So, and I also used the bigger shirt than I showed in the beginning. I used a different shirt for the top, but just to give me a little more room to play with.
So now the shirt is really too big. It's even bigger than the first one. So I'm gonna just go to the back and sew it up so it can fit, make it a little tighter, and I will be back with the finished look.
Okay, y'all, so this is the finished look of the shirt. I took it in and tailored it to fit me. And when I was talking about the serger, I was telling y'all that it gives like a professional look. So this is the look that you get from the serger. It's just like a shirt you would buy in a store. Sergers are really expensive, so if it's not something that you use, if you don't sew, if it's not something you're into, I wouldn't get one. A regular sewing machine, $100 sewing machine. So of course I ran out of storage mid video. But like I was saying, $100 sewing machine would be fine for this, or either needle and thread sewing by hand because it's not a lot of sewing. But what I went on ahead and did was I cut the seam off of the shoulder of the shirt and I added these little safety pins just to give it the same matching look as the skirt. And yes, this is the finished product. This is it. This is your Wilma Flintstone costume, and I will show it to you in a few.